Welcome to another episode of The Wave. My name is Adam.
My name is Nick. Welcome aboard.
How are you, Nick?
I'm great. How are you?
I can't see you very well.
No.
You're not here.
A mile or so will do that, won't it?
It will, yeah. We're remote recording, so if it sounds a bit weird, we've not done this for a few weeks. So we'll see how it goes. I think we'll be all right. We did it for quite a long time. We had quite a lot of practice over the last year.
This is true. We're a bit rusty, so but hopefully it'll be fine.
Nobody will notice any difference. We're always rusty anyway.
How's your week been?
Yes, not too bad. Not too bad at all, really. Yourself?
Yeah, it's been good.
What have you been up to?
I've had some just living life. I don't think has anything exciting happened. Do you know what? I'm more excited for what's going to happen this week.
Why? What's going to happen this week?
Well, on Tuesday we're going to eat some Korean.
Oh yes, of course. I forgot all about that. That'll be exciting.
So I'm very excited for that.
Me too. We're going to a Korean barbecue restaurant together.
Oh, can't not be good, can it? Surely.
Surely not. Bless you.
Excuse me.
Do I leave that in or do I edit it out? We'll see.
Edit it out.
We saw each other last weekend as well. We also went out for a meal last weekend. We've done.
We did.
We've done some socialising recently.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was fun. And had some drinks, had some food, and just.
Did you think it was
nice?
This is completely off topic, but do you think it was quite pricey?
Oh, drinks are ridiculously expensive.
It's so crazy, isn't it? It was £7 a pint in there.
I know.
It blew my mind.
I remember back in the day when a pint was £1.
Same.
You know?
My first ever pint was £1. I remember it well.
Shouldn't be paying them their London prices.
Could have got drunk on £7 back in them days.
Yeah, and the rest. And I'd change.
Yeah, definitely. Have you got any gossip for me? What's happened in the world of you?
That is the most exciting thing that's happened. Going and get thoroughly pocketed for
beer.
for some beer. When did beer become the same price as a cocktail? That's what.
Bloody Brexit. That's what it is.
It's gonna sound like a couple of old men moaning.
Yeah, that's what we are. It's kind of what we do.
I think we might be allowed to.
Yeah, I agree.
No, I'm fine. I mean, it's got cold.
It has. The last couple of days have been really cold.
Another really boring life story. I went to scrape the car this morning.
Yeah.
And the scraper broke in my hand.
Oh no! Disaster.
I was like, it's going to be that sort of day, is it?
Have you got to buy a new scraper?
Yeah, I had to kind of hack away with just the blade in my hand.
Nightmare.
So,
perils of a British winter.
Oh, tell me about it. Tell me about it.
It is cold. It's quite cold in here tonight. I need your body heat to warm me up.
We're not penguining together to keep each other warm.
We're not. Do you remember when we used to gather around one microphone? That was nice and warm. Back in the early days of Bottom of the Stream, we only had one microphone between the two of us.
Very, very close on the. We didn't even have a sofa. It was just a chair, so we had to sit on each other's lap to take it in turns.
Oh wow, we've come such a long. We're now a mile apart. That's how far we've come. We've come
one week only. 1 week only.
1 week only. Absolutely. Shall we start with some news?
I was going to say that something that will warm you up is a shed load of news.
Because you're not here, I can't see it this week, so I'm going to be thoroughly surprised by it all.
Oh, that will be exciting for you. I think there is gathering evidence that Netflix is just trying to take over the world.
I think that's fair.
But that is none more apparent than with some of this week's news items, because they're making some moves, man.
Who, Netflix are?
Yeah, sure. And the first of those is that they've gone and bought a visual effects studio.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's big
so
news.
It is. Netflix have gone and they have bought out the visual effects studios called Scanline.
Oh, right.
Scanline worked on Game of Thrones, Justice League. They've also done some Netflix stuff in the past. For example, Stranger Things. Globally, they got their headquarters in Canada, employ more than 1,000 people, and they are now a fully owned Netflix subsidiary.
Wow, that's interesting. So I wonder if Netflix are going to get into more high special effects content.
Well, they've now got their own in-house studio, so they can do that. They've worked with them before on Six Underground, Don't Look Up, which comes out in a couple of weeks, just before Christmas.
I saw the trailer for that yesterday. Have you seen the trailer yet?
I have, yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah, it does look
very
good.
much impressed by it.
So yeah, we've got their own SFX studio.
Cool. Keep your eye on some special effects films coming from Netflix.
Another thing which we know that Netflix has branched out into is games.
Oh yes.
Have you played any more games?
I haven't had a chance.
Well, there's 2 more on there for you to try now.
Oh really?
On Netflix games.
Because there was only 5 at launch, wasn't there? So is there 7?
Yeah. So there's Bowling Ballers.
Okay.
And then what is said to me as a rebooted version of a game called Asphalt Extreme.
Oh, okay, that sounds interesting. Is that like a racing game?
It is indeed. It was re-release of a game that came out a couple of years ago because again, you may be sensing a theme here. The original studio went bust, and Netflix have sort of nipped in and purchased this game. And yeah, it's up there for you to have a go at already.
It's really interesting, this whole idea, because are these games selling Netflix subscriptions? How are Netflix making money from these games? I find it weird.
It's very much at the minute a live experiment, isn't it?
It feels like that, yeah.
You've got a handful of little, just
mobile games.
Time killers, aren't they?
Yeah.
I suppose in the end, as with all things Netflix, they will just scale it up and throw a shed load of money at it.
Yeah, I imagine so. We'll end up with full-on big old console games. I wonder if a Netflix console will ever come out, streaming movies and games at the same time, all in one device.
I don't think it's out the realms of possibility whatsoever.
Same. Sky have got their own inbuilt TV now. I wonder if Netflix could ever just do that.
Well, yeah, it could happen.
It could. Never say never with Netflix. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
sorry to quote Justin Bieber there, but
it's got to be the ultimate goal, hasn't it?
Yeah,
or at least see how far along that road they can go.
Yeah, I would have thought so. This feels very much like a experiment to see how many people are actually interested right now.
I think so, and it is about increasing that branding, isn't it? We can, if Netflix has got a property like Squid Game, you can, instead of all these knockoff mobile games you've seen appear in the last couple of weeks, you can drive everyone to Squid Game the game.
Yeah,
Squid Game the game.
Squid Game the game.
It was just another way to rake in more cash, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fair enough. Why not?
Okay. Would you like to know something else that Netflix is branching out into?
Yes.
Do you have a Spotify account?
I do.
If you or anyone else who has a Spotify account were to put in Netflix into the search bar, you will find that Netflix is now a genre in Spotify.
Okay. How does that work?
Well, you can do that like I did earlier today, and you'll have official playlists from TV shows.
Okay.
So there's one there for Bridgerton, Money Heist. You've also got the official soundtracks. So they released Cowboy Bebop this week. And Netflix's official podcasts are all in there as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So if you ever wanted to listen to The Crown, the official podcast, and then the soundtrack straight after each other, you could just line them up in Spotify.
And then you could put bottom of the stream at the back of that and listen to it. Listen to the best Netflix podcast.
We are not official, but
unfortunately,
you can give us a job. That's fine.
Yeah, I'll take a job.
They have also rolled out what is being called an enhanced album experience.
What does that mean?
Well, if you were to go into Spotify and go to the Harder They Fall soundtrack, you also get a behind-the-scenes look at the making of the soundtrack.
Wow.
So that is all through this Netflix hub in Spotify.
Okay, that's interesting. I wonder why not just do it themselves? This is what
they've just spent money on a visual effects studio and a game system. They're not going to bring out their own Spotify as well, are they?
Their app is next to the Spotify app on my phone, so why not just not have any video and just have these soundtracks on there?
Good question.
They're really weird how they just branch out to other apps but don't fully utilise their own.
Yeah, because there's nothing stopping them. We've talked about it before, haven't we? That Netflix have been talking themselves about doing an audio. So if you just wanted the audio of Squid Game, you could walk around listening to it.
Why you would ever do that, I don't know.
I have no idea.
I find that so bizarre. But no, I just don't understand why they just don't utilise their own app.
You know, they could go down the Audible route and just have the actors reading the scripts out.
Yeah, why not? That's what some of the Netflix movies feel like anyway.
They do. We're looking at you, Red Notice.
Definitely.
Do you want me to go on with a few more innovations that are coming?
Yeah, absolutely. Always.
I will try if I can get into this webpage.
Now you know my troubles every week.
Netflix is rolling out a TikTok-like feature aimed at kids.
Okay.
So it's called Kids Clips, and you'll be able to get it very soon on iOS. It will show short videos from the company's library of children's programs and movies. They'll add new clips daily.
So that's a separate app as well?
No, it's in the app. So you will notice, I've got it on mine. You're not an iOS, are you? You're on Android, but you might have it as well. If you open up the Netflix app, you'll see something along the bottom called, I think it's called Fast Laughs.
Quick laughs.
And yes, and that will just show you small scenes from sitcoms, films. So, but just little funny scenes. So they're basically doing that, but for kids shows.
Oh right, okay.
And if you scroll down that Fast Laughs, you'll just get a scene from Kimmy Schmidt, and then a scene from Friends, and then another time wasting thing. They're just trying all this new stuff and seeing. It feels a bit like let's throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks. Admittedly,
yeah, it does work. It's given me some now for like Sex Education, Schitt's Creek,
yeah,
The Office,
and then obviously you've got the links to I want to know more about the show or play the show or more like this. So you're getting that, but one aimed at kids as well. So you can have more stuff on your Netflix app soon, and you can shake a stick out. I'm telling you. Good.
It costs enough.
But that's not all.
Okay.
Because something else that Netflix is branching out onto. We're going full circle here.
Movies.
DVDs.
Oh, really? What?
Back where Netflix started many, many years ago.
Remember it well.
Netflix is releasing, in time for Christmas, a Blu-ray of The Mitchells vs. the Machines, which was a animated movie that was out earlier this year.
Okay, that's unusual. Why?
Why? Because they're loading it with extras, and they're including a cut of the movie that is 40 minutes longer. 40 minutes longer? Yeah.
Isn't it quite a long film anyway? I think I remember you telling me that at the time.
It's a couple of hours. It's not short. So yeah, you've got a director's cut of this animated movie, and that's what they're marketing it on. The only way you can see this is if you buy the DVD.
I don't like that. That seems strange.
You've got the usual as well. You've got bonus scenes, commentaries. Yeah, looks into how it was made, trailers, all that sort of stuff, and a couple of games as well by the looks of things. Yeah. But you've got to buy the DVD or you can't get all that extra stuff.
That's a Netflix film that you can't now watch fully on Netflix.
You can't watch those extra bits, yeah.
Or the director's cut.
Yeah.
Not sure about that.
Is that something else you could do? Why isn't all that on Netflix?
Exactly. You could click on the Mitchells and the Machines page and then be confronted with, would you like to watch the film? Would you like to watch the extras? Would you like to watch the director's cut? Just put it on your app. That's what your app's there for. Again,
we'll talk about it. I'll just use this as an example because, it was big news last week, which we talked about, and obviously a huge hit. Red Notice.
Yeah.
So the movie ends and you get more like this, or why don't you get? Do you want to watch the blooper reel?
Yeah.
Or deleted scenes,
or the making of, or would you like to listen to the soundtrack? Would you like to play the game version of this film? It feels like it should just all be in that app. It's odd, really odd.
Yeah. So that's quite the expansion with all those things that sort of hit the news this week that may be coming your way as a Netflix subscriber.
There are still parts in America where Netflix will still do the DVD subscription,
Yes.
So I wonder if you could get that DVD from your Netflix subscription and go full meta.
That really is closing the circle, isn't it?
Full loop, full circle. I like it.
Good. That's. I would love that. Yeah. Someone should just do that. I like it.
Yeah, they definitely should.
Great. Should we talk about some actual movies?
Yes, like that.
Do you like the band Gorillaz?
Yeah. Why not?
I feel like they're a bit 90s.
Yeah, a bit old school.
Well, they're coming back.
Okay.
In movie form.
Right.
Because Damon Albarn, lead gorilla, did an interview with Apple Music this week, and he said he'd been spending some time out at Netflix because they are making a full-length Gorillaz film.
Interesting. Netflix are?
Yeah.
So he's interviewing with Apple TV talking about Netflix?
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
I have the feeling he was talking about some music stuff, and this kind of came out because Netflix haven't announced this movie, but Damon Albarn's kind of let the gorilla out of the bag.
Big bag.
Yeah, sure. He says, yeah, I'm at Netflix. We're making a full-length Gorillaz film. We're having a writing session this afternoon. It's really exciting. It's something we've been trying to do for a very long time.
Origin story?
Yeah, maybe.
I would have thought so.
They come out of the mist.
Nice.
Thanks. I've got a couple more.
Cool, okay, keep going. Don't let me stop you.
On Thursday, this week.
That's today.
On this...
Next week.
This very feed.
Oh, yeah.
You will be able to listen to our movie episode.
Yes.
What are we watching this week?
What happened to Monday?
Correct. What happened to Monday? A Netflix original starring Noomi Rapace.
Yes.
Now, she must have liked doing this movie so much 4 years ago that she's currently filming for Netflix a new movie.
Okay.
It is a Swedish movie.
With her being Swedish, that makes sense.
Yes, but it's going to be a Swedish language movie.
Oh, right, okay.
It is called Black Crab.
Okay. What's Black Crab about?
I mean, I don't know what's going through your head right now. I'm kind of intrigued.
It's kind of like a racist Squid Game.
Like it.
Thank you.
I thought you were going to go with something like, I don't know, a food film or something like that.
No.
Black Crab is a Scandinavian action thriller set in a post-apocalyptic world torn apart by climate change and war. During an endless winter, 6 soldiers are sent on a dangerous mission across the frozen sea to transport a package that could finally end the war.
Ooh.
Equipped with weapons and ice skates and unaware of what they're carrying or who they can trust, the mission challenges their beliefs and forces them to ask, what are they willing to sacrifice for their own survival?
That actually sounds quite good.
Yeah, I'm not sure why the line about ice skates is in there.
No, it's a bit strange.
Because even if they do skate along, it just takes it in a bit of an odd direction. But there you go.
It really does.
So yeah, that does sound pretty
good.
That
does sound good. Interesting that that's been announced the week that she's coming up in a film that we're going to watch.
I know. I didn't even search for her name.
Oh,
so
weirder.
I remember saying quite a while ago that amongst many other countries in the world, Sweden is a place that Netflix have. I think they'd come to an agreement, hadn't they, with a studio over there?
Yes.
To produce a lot of stuff. So this is one of the first things out of that. Black Crab, interestingly, is going to be directed by Adam Berg.
Okay.
And I absolutely wouldn't want to stereotype anyone, but he is obviously a Scandinavian himself. This is his first movie, but he has had a career directing music videos.
Right, okay.
And he's directed music videos by the Cardigans and Aha, who...
Oh, wow.
A very definite, very Scandinavian band.
Yeah, very much so.
I'm quite intrigued by that.
Yeah, me too. That sounds quite good. I do enjoy Noomi Rapace. She's very, very good usually.
She is pretty good, isn't she?
Yeah.
Pretty dependable actress. So come back on Thursday and see what we thought of What Happens to Monday.
I'm really looking forward to talking about that film.
Yeah, me too.
Surprisingly, I think I followed it. And it is quite confusing at points. But I think I've got it. I think I know what it was about.
Yes, me too.
So yeah, check back on Thursday and we'll talk to you about What Happened to Monday. It's
we'll
going to be
we'll get into that. We'll get into that. I've got one more.
Cool, keep going.
Have you heard about Hellbound?
I've heard the name.
It's the latest South Korean TV show to take
has it got,
Netflix and the world by storm.
Has it got monsters?
Yes.
Yes, I've seen the trailer for it earlier.
Well, it's taken Netflix and the world by storm if you cut the data a certain way.
Of course, as Netflix have now got this new tendency to do.
Because there's been a few articles this week saying that it's the new biggest show of all time, which it isn't entirely true. So it has gone straight to number 1 in more than 80 countries within 24 hours of its debut.
Wow.
That's never happened before from a TV show.
Right.
I think you would be stretching the truth somewhat to say it's bigger than Squid Game because it's only been out for 4 days, and
but
Squid Game was very word of mouth. But it's had a faster start.
I've just gone on to that website that we went on last week while you've been talking.
Yeah.
top10.netflix.com. I've gone to TV non-English, and it is at number 1 with 43,480,000 hours viewed. And Squid Game is at number 3. So this week it has been Squid Game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. All I'm saying is it's got a long way to go.
It certainly has. Yes.
to get to however many billion it was.
1.65 billion.
Yeah.
Yes. It has got a long way to go.
So we'll keep an eye on it, but Netflix is, as they do, touting this as the next big thing because it's had the best first 24 hours of a TV show ever. I've watched the first episode, so we'll talk about that in a few minutes.
Excellent.
I think we'll be soon at a point where they're going to be releasing a metric that's like, the second season of Bridgerton came out an hour ago, and it's had the best first hour of any season we've ever released.
I think you're right.
It feels like we're starting to count apples and oranges that detailed.
It's just like, it needs to be something. It needs to break some record. Let's make one up.
Yeah.
It really feels like that at the minute. But no, Hellbound does look really good. I'm excited to watch it. I'm definitely going to watch it.
We'll talk about it in a minute. The premise is certainly intriguing. So
definitely.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Okay.
Anything else?
I think that is all the news for this week.
Excellent. Shall we move on to what we have been watching then?
Let's do it.
What have you been watching at the top of the stream, Nick?
Shall we start with Tiger King 2?
I think you have to, don't you?
I think we do.
I think you just have to. There's something...
Have you watched it all?
I have. I watched it all in 2 days.
Same.
There's something really compelling about that story. And I don't know what it is. I don't believe most of it anymore. I'm quite cynical about the whole thing, but it is so entertaining to watch those characters. Just something about it just works for me.
I do not think you can come out of watching this second season and not think this is all bullshit.
Yes, I think you're right. I think I'm more...
But even knowing that, I didn't want to stop watching.
No, exactly. I was disappointed when I got to... It's only like 5 episodes, isn't it? I was disappointed when I got to the end of it. I was like, that last episode is so crazy. Like, probably crazier than anything they've ever done before. I just wanted more of it. And I'm like... And I don't believe a word of it anymore.
No, I had so many problems with almost every episode. To start off with, the Carol Baskin episode, it was... Oh my word, what has she done to deserve that?
It's a witch hunt.
It was
there's 2 episodes. The second and the third
to her.
episode was a witch hunt. It was like... Carol Baskin is the evil devil and Joe Exotic is the angel. And we all know that's not true. And it really felt like they were going after her in a big way in those 2. I could see why she's pissed off about it now. They really went for it in those 2 episodes.
There was a lot that they really glossed over that made me really uncomfortable.
Agreed.
Like, so in particular, well, we'll do a bit of detail because we've got time.
Yeah, of course.
But they were trying to paint her as having, just being this unscrupulous murderer. She was seen out at 3 a.m. near her land, and this is very suspicious. And then they sort of really quietly go, and her husband was doing sex with kids in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Like whispered out the corner of the mouth. And her husband was a money launderer, and he was most probably in trouble in Costa Rica, which is pretty lawless. I mean, it's pretty obvious what happened to the guy, isn't it?
Yeah. There's absolutely no evidence to suggest that Carol Baskin murdered that guy. No. None whatsoever. But there's now been 2 seasons of a TV show, and 2 whole episodes in that second season were dedicated to, yes, Carol Baskin did this. And it's, like you said, it's so uncomfortable. And
it seems quite obvious he met a grisly end in Costa Rica because he'd basically got in with a load of gangsters.
Yeah, and had been diddling with some kids. And No, it's just it made those 2 episodes felt like a completely different show. It felt like a true crime documentary, and then the 3rd episode cut straight back to 4th episode cut straight back to the crazy world of Joe Exotic and Jeff Lowe and Tim Stark. Tim Stark, man,
That episode was horrific.
what is that guy? He deserves a whole show on his own.
Yeah, because he was a very peripheral figure in the first season. He came in right at the end, didn't he?
He really did.
But yeah, that episode about him is just an absolute vile human being, as a lot of these people are in this show.
Have no respect for anybody
Or anything. No, it was.
I thought that cop was going to take him out there when he was like, "You need to be a mile away from here," and he's like, "Well, that's sniper distance." And you're like, you can't say that to a cop.
Or when he was at the courthouse, just like right in their face. Just I don't know how he didn't get cuffed.
No, I don't. I really don't. I tell you, if it wasn't for Joe Exotic being in prison, I wouldn't believe a word of that show was real.
You're bang on, to be fair.
It all feels so false, and it's like we've made up this whole story, and Joe Exotic accidentally ended up in prison because of it, and it's so strange. I mean, I know the man probably does deserve to be in prison, although it does feel like he's going to get out at some point.
Well, I think this was my other issue that made me really uncomfortable with this. And look, I completely acknowledge I'm part of the problem. I've watched this show.
The show's
I've
out
consumed
there.
it as much as anyone else.
The show's out there. We kind of affected the fact that story's been told.
But they do really dial in on Joe Exotic being a hard done by, almost, do I say hero? There is a bit of that in there.
There's a bit of hero worship in there, definitely.
And it really, it just totally brushes over the fact that the guy was an abuser of animals.
Yeah.
And it's just, I'm like, okay, maybe he shouldn't be in prison for the Carol Baskin thing, because everyone else admits basically they set him up. But the guy should be in prison.
Definitely, yeah, 100%. That last episode where everybody just changes their story at the last minute. It's like Jeff Lowe's suddenly on Team Joe. The big fat jet ski guy's suddenly on Team Joe. And that really felt like some money's changed hands here. That
is all of them. Just the lawyer has sat them around a table and gone, right, we can extend this further.
Yeah. If Joe gets out of prison, imagine how many seasons of this show we can do.
Yeah. There's more stories to tell. It'll make you more money.
Yeah, and it really felt like, we'll change our stories then.
Yeah, and Jeff Lowe's even gone, do you know what? If I have to go to prison for a few years, I'll do that deal.
Yeah.
That's basically what happened in that last episode.
It really felt like it. It was really... But now apparently Joe's been rushed to hospital this week. He's in a bad way, apparently. Been moved to a medical facility. Who knows? It's a really entertaining show, but it really is an uncomfortable watch because people's lives are being played with for a documentary series.
Yeah.
It's like that guy, the long-haired blonde guy who died.
Yes.
He was in that show in about 3 episodes of them. And then there was just a little card at the end of the last episode to say that he died. They didn't even mention it during the show.
No, but I'm not sure. I thought there was a couple of people. So him and the one who lost her arm. Yeah. I kind of felt they've just pulled out some archive footage from off the floor from the first season.
Possibly. But
with a few of them.
I really felt like they should have made some sort of mention of that. The fact that he's in that show and he didn't survive till the end of it. There's a really sad story, but to just put a little card at the end of the last episode.
And he was one of the guys who came out the first season actually. Well, yeah, you're not that bad.
Yeah, exactly. But no, it's great to watch, but it's an uncomfortable view.
Yeah,
because it really feels like
I've not really seen how it's done either. Its first week.
No, not me.
I don't think it's pulled up any trees.
Shall I go on to top10.netflix.com?
Yeah, have a quick look.
That's what this website's great for. It's number 2 in this week's charts.
Okay.
So it's Arcane Season 1 is number 1.
Sure.
That's had 38.42 million hours this week, and Tiger King's had 30.03.
Okay.
So possibly not as well as they would have hoped, I would think.
Maybe.
But yeah, it's a really entertaining show, but it feels like people's lives are being played with just to make it now, and that makes me uncomfortable.
And I think for me it's because they're all in on it, aren't they?
Yes.
Now?
Yes, 100%.
No, when they were filmed, no one knew what it was going to be.
Yeah.
They're all there to make more money now.
Yes.
That's the key difference.
Yes, very much so.
Okay.
Cool. Well, that's a few minutes we've done on Tiger King. We did a whole episode on the first season, so maybe we won't do that this time, but we've done a few minutes.
That's fine.
Anything else?
I have watched the first episode of Hellbound, as we mentioned. So I won't go into spoilers.
No, because I haven't seen it.
Do you know what the premise is?
No idea. I've just seen some pictures of some monsters. That's all I know.
Okay, so basically the premise is there is this face that appears before people, and tells them the date and time that they are going to die.
Okay, right.
And they then meet their doom by being brutally murdered by 3 smoky gorilla monsters.
Right.
And I won't say any more than that. I watched the first episode and I'm really intrigued.
Cool. Okay, so it's good.
You know,
it's good. Are you telling me it's good?
It's a good setup.
Right.
I think for the first episode, there's a couple of detectives on the trail, so it seems a bit more. I don't like that everyone is already saying it's the next Squid Game. It's the next Squid Game. It's nothing like it. It's just because how lazy is that? Just because it's from South Korea.
Yeah, that's going to happen forever now.
Yeah,
it's just this Korean show is going to take the world by storm. It's going to be like the next Squid Game. The Korean TV people must know what's coming. You're going to get all sorts of different shows, but they're always going to be compared to Squid Game for the next few years, probably.
I am more. Oh well, we've already said many times. You know, I thought Squid Game was fine, but not. I didn't blow my socks off. I'm more intrigued from the first episode of Hellbound than I was of Squid Game.
Okay, that's interesting. So I'll check it out before next week's episode, and we'll go from there. But in the same breath, this wouldn't be number 1 in the Netflix charts this week if it wasn't for Squid Game. So swings and roundabouts, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is. Have you watched anything else?
I have watched the first episode of Blown Away Christmas.
Oh, I've watched 2.
Oh, have you?
Yeah. I have never seen an episode of Blown Away.
Oh, so you don't know that these guys that are in it are returning characters from previous...
I picked that up. Yeah. It was mentioned quite a few times.
That's what I was meaning. They say it about 15 times in the first episode.
I know.
But yeah, they're like ex-competitors from the previous 2 seasons coming back to make Christmas ornaments. So it's a glass blowing.
I enjoyed it. I think 4 episodes was a stretch.
Yeah, possibly.
And you've got Bobby Burke from Queer Eye, who's not he's the presenter. So have they ditched the normal?
Yeah, they must have. Whether it's just for the Christmas he hasn't presented it before. I think he's been a guest judge a few times. Okay. He's never been the host before. The lady who hosts, she's always been there. But yeah, I don't know what they've done with the original host. I don't know what's happened to him. Whether he's just been ditched for the Christmas one.
Put in a kiln.
Yeah, possibly. Whether he's just been ditched for the Christmas one or he's not going to be there for the next season, I don't know. I thought the first one was really good. I thought the right person went, but I didn't like her in the first season either. So.
Okay.
What was your favourite make so far?
It was I think it was the first one that the lady won with the stocking and the nutcracker.
That was brilliant, wasn't it? To make that out of glass.
And then I think it's in the second episode where she reveals, although you may have already known it, obviously, because she's a returning contestant, that she can barely see.
Oh, no, I didn't know that. Really?
Yeah, she's got a degenerative eye condition.
That's even more impressive that you can blow glass and not be able to see what you're doing.
That's exactly what I thought.
Jeez. No, it's a great show. Honestly, it's the 29-minute episodes, 30-minute episodes. It's well worth watching. If you've got any sort of interest in glass blowing, you're going to enjoy it.
It's a new revolution, this sort of show. There's I can't remember what channel it is on over here. It's one of the terrestrial channels because I saw it pop up the other day. But it's World's Best Carpenter.
Wow.
There's a reality show for everything.
There certainly is. There certainly is.
Just wait till Jesus turns up. And he's just like, everyone else, fuck off.
This guy's won.
I'm winning this. Yeah.
He could win World's Best Magician as well. I don't think I've watched anything other than that. Not on Netflix, anyway.
I've watched a few of the short animations on Disney Plus called Star Wars Visions.
Okay.
Where they've sort of given the keys to the Star Wars universe to a load of Japanese animators.
Right.
It's really quite interesting.
Oh, okay.
All different styles of animation. Some are quite serious, some are more comedic. I've watched 3 or 4, varied in quality, but Yeah, quite interesting.
Interesting. Okay, I didn't know that was even a thing.
Yeah, I think it's been out a few weeks.
Cool.
So
excellent.
I think that's about it for me.
I watched episode 3 of Dexter.
Okay,
still excellent. Living above all my standards at the minute.
Oh, that's good to hear.
The kid who's playing Harrison in the 3rd episode does a real Dexter thing. Like, it was like a trait of his dad, and I'm like, yeah, you got that spot on. You literally would just like him then. And I also went to watch Ghostbusters Afterlife in the cinema on Monday.
Oh, do you know? I'm going to try and sneak to see it on Saturday at the weekend.
You really should.
Did you enjoy
wonderful. It takes
Brilliant.
a little bit to get going. Probably the first 20-25 minutes, I'm like, come on, do something. But that's because I think that's mainly because you're expecting it. So you just want to get into it. But once it goes, it's great. And the end, man.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Take some tissues with you for the end.
Okay. Challenging wank.
Especially in a cinema. Oh, they always are. They always are. I think that's it though. I think that's all I've watched. Mainly Tiger King 2 this week. Sure. Although we have watched one other thing.
Oh, have we?
We should probably extend our rod, should we not?
Oh, of course we should.
Because we have started a new show this week.
Yeah.
We have started a French show?
Italian
show. We've started an Italian show. It's called Tear Along the Dotted Line, and it's an animated TV show. 2 15-minute episodes we've done this week.
Yeah, Netflix did that thing to me, and it showed me the 2nd episode first.
Oh. Oh, no, I'm not sure why.
I think because earlier in the week I'd found it.
Oh, okay.
And you know where you've got your tiny, tiny, infinitesimal little red bar,
yeah.
And that for some reason makes Netflix think, well, you're not going to want to carry that on. Let's throw you straight into the second one.
Oh, that's annoying.
I don't think it's a big deal.
I don't either.
But it was a little bit confusing. When it was more confusing when I went back to the first one, because the first one's more of a setup, isn't it?
Do you want to tell us the premise?
Sure. So Tear Along the Dotted Line is about a 30-something neurotic man looking back at sort of key moments of his life, I guess.
Yes. That's exactly what it is.
And questioning his views and everything around him.
It's a real strange show, isn't it?
I really enjoyed it.
I did as well. It isn't what I was expecting. It's just one man talking non-stop for 15 minutes.
So, did you watch the dub?
No, I watched the Italian original.
Can I make a suggestion to you?
Yes.
Watch it again in English.
Oh, really? How come?
And it's not often I would recommend doing
that.
No,
that's a strange thing for you to recommend.
So I tried a bit of both.
Okay.
And the Italian is great. The subtitles do not do it justice.
Right, okay.
Because the subtitles are quite basic. If you watch the English version, you have got a full-on proper performance by the lead guy that you will not get from the subtitles. And you won't get from the original because you don't speak Italian. So,
okay, that's really interesting.
So the subtitles are very basic compared to what the guy is actually saying. He goes into more detail. There's a lot more swearing in the actual.
All right.
You know, there's a lot of F-bombs dropped, and it's you will get more emotion out of it. I would suggest. I think you'll be really surprised at the difference.
I'll do that. I will do that. I will go back and watch because they're only 15 minutes. I'll go back and watch them again.
Yeah.
That's a really interesting idea. I did wonder whether I should do that, but I thought, no, I'm all right. I'll watch the Italian, how it's written. But
yeah,
it is just...
And I'm sure that's there in the Italian,
yeah.
But I can't tell you because I don't speak Italian. So
that makes sense. But it is just, there's only one voice actor in it, and it's just like a stream of consciousness, isn't it? It's just words just falling out of his mouth. It's
yes, and he does impressions of the other people in the show. So the second episode, which I watched first, is about all the stresses that he has when where he ends up, his car breaks down, doesn't he? And I thought it was really funny, that was, when he was stranded at the side of the road and he makes all this commentary about, why is that the guy at the petrol station over there, he's an immigrant, why isn't he coming to help me? And then his friend challenges him, doesn't she say, and he's got as much right to be here as you. why are you assuming that he's like a service person? That sort
Yeah,
of
and then
thing.
he's like, well, yeah, why am I
he
thinking like that? And he's
he's questioning all his own views
Yeah.
then, and I just thought it was really pertinent, and I thought it was quite affecting actually. The first episode when he spends all night trying to choose something on Netflix.
Yeah,
I thought that was really funny as
been
well.
there many times. He ends up going to bed at 4 a.m, having not watched anything.
Yeah, exactly. And then the flashback he has to when he's a kid, so he was a really good student, and he never wanted to let his teacher down, and then he felt guilt when he did badly at school because his teacher wanted him to succeed, and then he talks to his other friend who says, she doesn't know who you are. She gets you confused with the other kid in that other class. Yeah. Do it for yourself. Don't do it for her. You know, and I was like, I wasn't expecting this to be quite as profound.
It's really profound.
I'm really looking forward to the next few episodes.
Same. I might rewatch those first 2 in English now you've said that. And then
do it,
do another 2 for next week.
Yeah.
I might do that.
I would recommend it, honestly. I think you'll be really surprised at the difference.
We haven't even mentioned the fact that he's got an armadillo for a subconscious.
Of course.
He just lives with this life-size armadillo on his shoulder, just talking him through life.
Yeah.
It's like his inner mind is an armadillo.
He's like an ex-emo, isn't he?
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed it. I think
balding emo.
Yeah.
You can see why it's 9.3 on IMDb.
Not many people will watch this, but I think if you watch it, you're going to enjoy it. Tear along the dotted line.
Couldn't agree more.
I really like the animation style.
Yeah, it's great.
And I also, from the 2 episodes I've seen, really like the music.
Yeah, agreed. No, the music's great. So far so good. I'm impressed with it so far. So honestly, check it out. If you've not watched any of these shows alongside us, just go with it for this one. It's 15 minutes. It's going to take you no time at all.
It is a hard recommendation.
So far, so good. Agreed.
Yeah.
Right, I think that's about it, isn't it?
I think so.
Do a quick word on what happened to Monday that's coming out on Thursday.
Yeah, come back Thursday, and we are talking about What Happened to Monday, a sci-fi thriller.
It's set loosely in the near future, I would say. So it's a bit sci-fi.
There's big sort of Minority Report vibes about this one, isn't there?
Yes, there's a lot of that. But you can see all of it becoming a reality, in all honesty.
Yeah.
It's
near future.
Noomi Rapace, Glenn Close, and Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, quite the lineup for this show, I tell you.
Definitely. Although he's not in it as much as I was hoping he would be, but it's an interesting one. It's going to be an interesting episode. I'm looking forward to talking to you about it. I'm not going to lie. So yeah,
good.
Come back to this.
You can.
Go on.
I was just going to say you can find that here on Thursday.
That's
so
what I was going to say
come back
as well.
and listen.
So, come back on Thursday and we'll talk about that for you.
Cheers.
Bye.